thank you so much for joining Girl Chat today. I am your host and co-founder, Dr. Taffy, and today we're missing our other host and co-founder, Tino Chinembiri, but I am excited to be joined by Regina Mwandandiwa. But first, we appreciate you all giving us your time tonight. And as always, please subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel, hit the like button, share, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram so you don't ever have to miss anything. We have some new projects that are launching soon, so you really don't want to miss those. But like I said, today we are joined by Regina Mwandandiwa, who is the chairperson of the Zimbabwe Women's Rugby. Regina's background is in accounting and tax consulting, but 2017 looks like she made a detour or a career change. But yeah, we want to hear what's happening, Regina. Let us know. Please tell us who you are. Just give us a little bit of your background, where your journey started, and how we came to you being the chairperson of the Zimbabwe women's rugby team.
Okay. Thank you so much for the introduction. Okay, my name is Regina Mwandandiwa. I'm the chairperson for women's rugby. So I've always been an athlete when I was growing up, from primary school, high school, but my main sport was basketball, by the way. So I used to play a lot of basketball. And then one day in 2017, I decided to do something different. I was in Blawayo then. So I just decided to go to Queen's Sports Club where they play cricket. So I decided to play cricket. So when I got there, they said, no, you can come through. But I had recently started a new job. But they say their training sessions are at 9 in the morning. So I couldn't make it in the training session. So opposite Queen's Sports Club, there is Hartsfield. So I decided to cross the road and check it out. It was on a Saturday. I get there, there are games playing, women are playing. And then when I get there, I was approached by a lady, and then she says, can you play rugby? I'm like, I've never played it before, I just watch it. And then she says, okay, just get in. What you do is you pass going backwards, and then just tackle or hold anyone that that don't let anyone pass you. You understand. So that was my first time playing rugby. And from that day, I fell in love with rugby, and I never went back since that day. So I joined the team, which is Matabeleland Warriors, the women's team, from 2017 until 2019. And it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. And then I moved to Harare 2019. So when I got to Harare, I joined Harare Sports Club. Harare Sports Club, I started playing, I think, the first few months. And then I got interested in just managerial positions, because I was now working at an audit firm. So I didn't have time to make it for training. You need to pay some rent. It's a new town. You need to take care of yourself. So I couldn't play anymore. So I started working and then doing administration work. They took me in. I joined the committee. People voted me in. So I started by being a women's representative for the club, of which I learned a lot of things, appreciating women, supporting women, just being there for them, talking to people, and then understanding, having an understanding of the background of rugby in terms of women. So I think that was my first step in making me more interested in dealing with women in rugby. And then after that, I became the secretary. That's when I got my managerial position for the under 20 girls. Those are my babies, by the way. So, so I started managing the under 20 girls, the national team. Went with them on tours. It was amazing. That was 2022, 2023 again. I went with the girls. It has been amazing. And then that's when I was appointed now as the senior women's national team manager again. So dealing with women has been amazing with me, and it's been an achievement, I can say. So from there, I think that's when people started appreciating what I do and what I give back to rugby. So when the elections came through recently, I've been recently appointed, by the way. So that's when I won the elections, and I became the chairperson for women in Zimbabwe.
We love it. So you probably can't tell, but I was an athlete myself growing up. And I completely understand how you went from playing basketball and then somehow you landed in, in rugby, right?
Yeah.
I started off, I played everything in primary school. I tried netball, I tried
Okay.
cricket myself. That didn't work out. I tried hockey. I even tried track and field, girl, and the hurdles were not too bad, but but I ended up playing my main sport was tennis,
Oh,
right?
that's wonderful. Yeah.
Tennis and swimming, those were my two main sports. Somehow I ended up in basketball because I went to Goromonzi High School and they
Oh,
did
yeah.
not have rugby at the time.
Yeah.
However, they do have a rugby team now.
Amazing.
And
It's one of our
yes,
feeders for the national
and
team.
uh, absolutely, and that's what's so incredible about when it comes to sports, right? The versatility and how you can, when if you're an athlete, you're an athlete, and
Yeah, that's
you're
true.
most likely going to be able to play multiple sports, right? But
Yeah.
here we are in 2024. You're the chairperson of the Zimbabwe Women's Rugby, which is an amazing achievement. And, like I said, I grew up as an athlete, but I know that when it comes to certain sports, the men, the
Yeah,
men
exactly.
can be, the men can dominate these sports,
That's true.
which
That's true.
I mean, rugby is one of the main sports that men dominate. My
Yeah.
brothers all played rugby for Churchill, for St. George's as well. And my nephew played for Churchill as well. And so, but there are so many challenges when it comes to sports for women.
Yeah.
And I just want to know, as a chairperson, as you've come along your journey, what have been the greatest challenges breaking into what the world will call a man's sport, right?
Yeah.
What
Okay.
challenges have you had to overcome?
All right. So the main challenge that I would say we want to overcome right now is the fact that this is a male-dominated sport. You're right by saying that. So I just feel that all the resources that they are all giving to the men, can you imagine they are trying to make them qualify for the World Cup, for the 15s men's, and then the Olympic qualifiers. But what if they just, just divert those resources just for a little bit and give them to the girl
Right.
child and see what we can do as women? Because I can give you an example of the Lady Chevrons, the cricket team. Look at what they're
Mhm.
doing. They were given
Yeah.
those resources, but look at how they are playing. It's just something amazing. So for me, the
Mhm.
greatest barrier is the resource allocation when it comes to women in this sporting,
Mhm.
fraternities. We are not given the same resources as men. But the girl child,
Mhm.
we've got the athletic ability when it comes to women. We've got proper athletes. We can be given maybe a platform whereby we prepare for a tournament in less than a few weeks, but we perform in a way that you can never believe that we don't even have resources. So imagine
Mhm.
when we are given those resources, what we can produce as women. So the main challenge for me is the resource allocation in terms of women in sport. So that's the
Okay.
challenge. Mm.
That's definitely a challenge when it comes to especially women's sports. But
Yeah.
as of right now, I would love to know just how much support, if any, if you're getting any government support or from bigger, sports families. We're going to call them families today because that's what, yes, they're organizations, but when it comes to sport, we talk about family a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you currently have any kind of support? Is there a bigger team that's feeding into you guys, just helping with resources, or even just coming to speak to the ladies? That just to you encourage them even.
Yeah.
What help do you currently have?
Okay, so at the moment, like what I was saying, we had a tournament yesterday, since last week on
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, the Nedbank Cup Challenge. So this is the first time they've engaged women. We're celebrating the Women's Month, and they came through, and we had women coming all over from Mutare, Blawayo, and
Wow.
playing. So it's one of the the sponsors that we appreciate, they made it happen and they included women. They listened to us and they helped us. So it's been amazing. We got the support. So that's since my election, I think that's the first sponsorship that has really appreciated us as women, and we know they're gonna do more going forward. So Nedbank Zimbabwe did well. We appreciate them, and we were so excited and looking forward to work with them. Yes.
And you know what? That's crazy. I do see Nedbank on a lot of they sponsor a lot of people or activities or and I do see them a lot when it comes to women's sports. And we'll give a shout out to Nedbank. We appreciate you, and we hope that you continue supporting the ladies because they need that. And this conversation that we're having is also a call to other sponsors. That's what our goal is today, to shed light on the struggles that the ladies are having as far as resources and even personal life. There's a lot of things that happen in our personal lives that we still need support. And when it comes to sports, it's a family. So we know that the ladies are struggling even at home, and even just getting to practice. We know it's a challenge for you guys, and we understand that you're looking for assistance with transportation, feminine hygiene products. And just give us a little bit of tell us, because since this is what we're here for, I want you to let everyone know everything that you need, and it won't fall on deaf ears. I know this. So we want to be able to help you get your name out there and get the resources that you need so we can support the ladies. It's International Women's Month, Women's History Month. The ladies are making history, and I hope each of them understands that they are making history because, rugby is a male-dominated sport. I never thought to play rugby, even though I was, I was an athlete myself. I never thought, but I would watch my brothers do it because I always thought that rugby was, for the men. So let's talk about those resources. Let's be more specific on what it is you need. Are there any even call out even specific people you want to assist that can help with you guys? Let's get the name out there. Somebody will tag them in this. We will tag them. If there's anyone specific that that they support sports and especially women's sports. So let's talk.
All right. So the main thing that I'll talk about is empowering our women. That's the first thing, because for us to be looking for transport money, which means our women are not empowered. So the first thing that I'll talk about is maybe just supporting our women with skills so that they can sustain themselves. Because I believe when you empower women, they can do anything. So that's the first thing. Maybe getting because most of them, they are school dropouts. They can't even afford school fees. Maybe let's try and get them to go back to universities, go back to colleges, and then that way we empower them with skill so that going forward, we may cancel out the issue of transport money. So that's the first thing that I'm really concerned about. And then as a team, I think maybe we need kit, like playing kit. We need balls, that is training equipment, balls, cones, ladders or anything just for fitness. So we cannot afford to take every player to the gym. So maybe if we try those jungle gyms, I can tell you like New Zealand, they don't even go to the actual gym, but they're doing well. Look at the New Zealand women. They're the All Blacks women. They are doing well. So maybe we get someone who can provide us with a place where we can go for the jungle gyms. We get our girls fit and ready for playing. And then the other factor is nutrition. We need to get our girls on a special diet. They need to look good. They need to feel good at the end of the day for them to be proper athletes. So it's just one of the things that we also need in terms of creating future athletes that can play better rugby, because we have more chances of winning in terms of rugby. But the fact that they don't have proper nutrition, some of them, they come from poor backgrounds.
Right.
So imagine how they are still performing without a proper diet. So imagine when you give them that, we'll definitely
Mm-hmm.
produce proper athletes that will perform better and getting us to the World Cup in the future. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So mainly it's kids,
Absolutely.
training equipment and nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think those are very valuable resources that the ladies need.
Yeah.
And I do love that you mentioned empowerment, empowering the ladies,
Yeah.
even just empowering them to be able to get those resources.
Yes.
Because without that empowerment, we could hand them everything that we think that they need, but what happens tomorrow?
Yeah.
It's hard for everyone else to sustain that, but empowering the ladies to
Mhm.
go back to school, to be able to work so that they can afford transportation. And we know it's difficult in Zimbabwe. We know that jobs are not easy to come by, and even when you do get a job, the money that you receive is not always, it's not
Yeah.
always, it can't always sustain
Enough.
your
Yeah.
family and you, and just daily life.
Yeah.
But we do hope that we are able to find these things for you. But
Yeah.
I also want to get into knowing just, you mentioned requiring fitness for the ladies. Fitness, they need to work out, they need
Mhm.
nutrition. What requirements would you need? Is it somewhere, is it a gym that you need to be able to access? Or is it something that you know, possible sponsors can bring to you guys? Is there anything that they can bring to you? Or because we don't know where you practice, where do you
Yeah.
practice? So that everybody knows if there's somebody who can provide, a space for you guys, or if they can bring you some equipment for you and the ladies to work with. So just tell us a little bit about that.
All right. So usually our training sessions are at Old Hararian Sports Club and Harare Sports Club. So for me, I felt like if we can have people who can give us access to the gym, that would be perfect. We would appreciate that. But I'll also, I think maybe if we have, those jungle gyms where someone maybe in
Mhm.
these sporting fields, they build some, the tires, they put the ropes and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
So that way we know we always have a fitness center that we don't have
Hmm.
to pay for, you understand? Even if we don't
Hmm.
have gym access, we can still use that as gym.
Hmm.
People get fit from that. Yeah.
That's very true. Do you have
Yeah.
space that the where if somebody is able to bring this kind of equipment, and not necessarily at the Hararian Sports Club or
Mm-hmm.
Old Hararians, is there
Mm-hmm.
somewhere where the ladies, you guys congregate every so often, if not at the sports club?
Yeah, yeah. We can actually organize that space because for me the plan was to have these jungle gyms everywhere across the country because we
Ah.
also have Blawayo, we've got Hartsfield, we can still put a jungle gym
Hmm.
and then everyone has got access to that. So there is no need for you
Hmm.
to always worry about subscription or the gym subscriptions and everything. Mutare,
Hmm.
we can also organize something like that. So for me, I targeted the main sports field where women are given free access to train. So those ones, they will also benefit, but at the same time, they support us as women to go train there for free, whereby they charge other men to use those sporting fields. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think that'll be perfect if we just target the main sports field around the cities and then we utilize that.
Oh, that would actually be a great idea. So are you saying that, so you're saying that the ladies on the team, you have some that don't live in Harare, some live in Bulawayo and Mutare. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, for the national team, we've got players across the country. We've got some from
Hmm.
Mutare, we've got some from Blawayo.
That's awesome. I actually didn't know that. I thought, we all lived in one neighborhood as a happy family. I mean, that, I know it's not boarding school or anything, and I went to
Yeah.
boarding school, so that's usually my idea of, sports teams. And, we don't really always think about, what they go home after this
Yeah, that's true.
to a dorm or any
Mhm.
of that. But, and, working with women, I know that there's often some cattiness when it comes to women, and
Yeah.
some breakdown, we'll call it breakdown in communication. um how have you been able to keep that togetherness and that teamwork going? Because obviously we see that on the field.
Yeah.
When the ladies go out there, they're protecting each other,
Yeah.
right? They're defending each other. They go to bat for each other on the field, but off
Yeah.
the field, how do you keep that togetherness? How has it been a challenge since you've been chairperson? And just tell us a little bit about that.
All right. So you know how us women are like, we're very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So usually what we do, we try to engage the girls. When the other team, maybe the juniors are playing, we try to bring them to support each other. We also
Mm-hmm.
concentrate on mental health as well. So we also have a doctor who assists us in terms of that. So we also have he speaks to them in terms of their emotional state, so that whenever they go back to the field, they can be in the right mental state. Because these days in sport, if you've noticed, there are doctors who are needed
Mm-hmm.
just to put the player in a proper mental state for them to perform well. So we've engaged a doctor who's been helping us, and it's really working. It's really working.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have a one-on-one talks with the girls, encourage them, tell them what they should expect in life, get them ready, discipline them, make sure they're in the correct path, because we are not only training rugby players, we're also training future mothers, future doctors,
Yeah.
future everything, you understand? So we always make sure that they are in a proper state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's very true. And that's something, as Zim Ladies Roundtable, we also like to talk about mental health, because that's very important.
Mhm.
Life does not go on if your mental health you know, is
Yeah.
not together, if your mental health is not intact. That can be really difficult to navigate life, and then, to navigate the sports side of it, because it's not just home life. You have a totally different life when it comes to the ladies, the sports team, and being on the field, and fighting these battles against men,
Yeah. Yeah.
in this industry. um, yeah, it can be difficult. It can be difficult, but I do know that female representation in rugby is increasing. And
Yeah.
there's what do you think can be done to promote the ladies more, as far as not just even finding their resources, but just letting everyone know, the ladies play too, and they're
Yeah.
good.
They're good, yeah. So for me, I think it's creating awareness,
Mhm.
starting from where they come from at home, because I usually also have cases whereby a parent will say, no, my child doesn't play rugby. They don't believe until you invite them and make them sit at the field and say, that's your daughter. Do you know, some of them, they'll be like, that's not my daughter, you're lying. So I think it's about
Wow.
creating awareness from where they come from,
Mhm.
because we've got these social barriers, the discrimination whereby they say, no,
Yes.
rugby is for men. So we need to create that awareness from
Mhm.
from home going to the field, because imagine, before a girl child leaves home, she has to wash the plates, she has to do some chores at
Mhm.
home. But a boy child will just say, Mom, I'm going for a game, and then like, no, it's okay, you can go, you understand? So I just
Mhm.
feel like that awareness is needed in terms of believing that we can have more duties than men, but we always create
Yeah.
opportunities and time to do more, you understand? So it's a matter of creating that awareness in terms of, you know what, our girls can still play rugby as well. They have the power, they can do it.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And, you mentioned the parents part of it. So, I grew up in a household that was very sports oriented. My father has been in sports since before I was born, since he was a boy in journalism and with the Olympics and all of that, and
Okay.
he still works, at different levels when it comes to sport. And at one time, he was the Zimbabwe Olympics president.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, so sports was a really big thing in my household,
Okay.
and one of the things, if Dad, I played today, we had a match today, and his question was always, "Did you win?" Right? Not
Okay.
the team.
Yeah.
Did you win?
You,
Right?
oh, okay.
So for me personally, it wasn't difficult, letting my parents know I have to go practice. And I was even off season. I was on that tennis court, the
Okay.
basketball court when I switched to basketball, or I was,
Mhm.
swimming, because that was something I absolutely enjoyed. But I was blessed to have parents that understood that knew what I needed to do in order for me to be successful in sports, right? So my question is, what pushback have you had with parents? Have you had to go to any parents' home and say, "Hey, listen"? And you mentioned you talked a little bit about having to, that they don't believe it. And
Mhm.
what have you, or maybe I should ask, how have you been able to overcome that with some of the parents? I know it might not be all the parents, but something is definitely working because the girls are showing up. They're
Yeah.
showing up and they're showing out. Okay.
Yes, that's
So
true.
you're doing something right. There's something you are doing to uplift these women and to support them even when it comes to the home front. But what pushback, what have you done? And even somebody else who's listening, who's also a chairperson, who's a
Yeah.
coach, they might be
Yeah.
listening to this and they're thinking, you know what, that worked for Regina, maybe it might work for me.
Yeah.
Right? What let us know a little bit about that.
All right. So what I usually do is during these tournaments, we need a workforce in terms of, people who will be working with us and then they get
Mm-hmm.
something in return. So for me, like I always say, let's empower the girls. Give them
Yes.
something they take home and then the family will appreciate. The family will be happy. You give
Mm-hmm.
someone $20 in a day. She goes home, she buys bread. She's only 16. Then she says, "No, I got it from rugby." So
Mm-hmm.
that has been working because now I have other parents actually calling and say, thank you so much. We appreciate you. You're giving our girls jobs. Now she's opened a little tuck shop. She can now raise money for her school
Oh,
fees. I had a parent that said that to me.
wow.
And
That's
and I
incredible.
yeah, and then I really appreciated it. So it's something that we do. We just give them something so that they know that wherever they're going to rugby, they bring something in return that will also empower them. So we usually do
Mm-hmm.
these little things, and then we also look for people who also pay for their school fees. You go to someone and say, "No, I've got this girl. She's out of school. She can't afford. Can you pay school fees for her?" So already a parent will be like, "Okay, rugby is doing something for my child." So they'll always say, "Go for training." They actually encourage them, "Go for training." And then the other thing that we do is after every game, like for our sports club, that's my club. I do these certificates and just this token of appreciations for the most valuable players. And
Mm-hmm.
the parents were so amazed. Some have even put the certificates in frames. They're sending pictures. We appreciate what you've done to our daughters. Please tell us next time when the season starts. So you just try, women are easy to impress. You just get them those little
Mm-hmm.
gifts and then you catch their hearts, I'm telling you. So most mothers are very supportive. I also have fathers that are even calling. I've got a daughter, she's 17.
Wow.
Can I bring her to rugby? So that's when you see that those little things that you do, people are really appreciating
Mm-hmm.
it. And you are taking
Mm-hmm.
off the girls from the streets. Imagine it's a
Yes.
Saturday, she doesn't have games, but then there's a tournament whereby she's not playing. You just give her a little employment there. She's off the streets.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She's busy watching rugby, watching men play or other women, her seniors play. So you are creating an environment whereby she thinks about rugby. She lives rugby. She eats rugby. It's
Mm-hmm.
not all about going out there. There's drugs these days, people are exposed to so many things. So you create an environment whereby they are off from the streets and then they come to the rugby space and then they enjoy and understand the sport better.
Yeah. That's absolutely incredible, Regina. I would never even have thought to look at it that way, right? Where you're empowering them by making sure that you send them home with something that is absolutely powerful, and not many leaders would actually look at it that way. But to me, it sounds like they voted for the right chairperson who's definitely empowered. And it's just incredible that you look at it from that aspect of empowering them, and reeling in their families that way. That is absolutely genius. That is absolutely genius. And I feel like you're an absolute role model for the ladies, and they're doing an incredible job. And we see how your leadership has been leading them to this success. And I am so grateful to sit here with you and just to delve into a little bit deeper, because we people look from the outside looking in, we don't see the what happens in the background, how you're motivating them, how you're empowering them, and how you're even seeking for and pushing for their education as well, because education is a big part. We can all say, oh yeah, school is not for everyone, but at the end of the day, there's a lot when it comes to education, just getting through high school even, and just getting that high school diploma, just graduating high school. There's a level of appreciation that you have for life, for sport, for just anything that you're doing. And I want to know, how have you, because this is a lot, Regina. This is a lot, being, you're managing the ladies, your mom, you're basically their mom. You have, like you mentioned at the beginning of this, they're your babies, but who inspires you? You inspire them. We know this when we see it. But who inspires Regina? Yes, it just happened for you to jump into rugby, but there has to be somebody who inspires you, who keeps you going, who you look up to, even just for that inspiration or just that motivation. Just let us know who's made Regina who she is today.
Okay, my inspiration is my father. My father has been the most supportive person ever in my life. Okay, it was also my mom, but my mom is late. But my father has been my biggest cheerleader. Every sport that I've done, he's always been there. He would come and watch me play. He would always encourage me to do better, and I've been a better athlete. I've done so well in terms of sports. In terms of school, he would encourage me. He does everything in his, even up to now. I think I'm still his baby as well, because he always, but he's, but he's shocked why I decided to move from basketball and go to rugby. He's like, but you're a good basketball player. You used to play for the national team. You used to do all that. What happened? You just switched to rugby. So, but he's that supportive person. He's just been that person who always positive. Even if when I'm down, when I'm wrong, he's always that positive. That little, I don't know what I can call. He's been there for me. He's been amazing in my life. Yeah. So my father, I think, is the best role model ever.
Girl, I get it, because I'm a daddy's girl.
Yeah. I know, right?
I'm a daddy's girl through and through, and I feel like my path as well has been inspired by my dad.
Yeah.
Even, I have a doctorate in sports marketing, so that was inspired by my dad as well. So girl, I get it. Daddy's girls, that we need a support group for daddy's girls, right?
That's true. Yeah, we need to create one. That's true.
Oh, absolutely. But Regina, I think you're absolutely incredible. I am so happy to hear your story, hear your background, just to hear how you've been supporting the ladies. They did not get it wrong when it came to you at all.
Thank you.
We see it, we see you, we hear you, and as them ladies roundtable, we want to support you as much as we possibly can. um and just getting your name out there, sharing this video, and we're going to I'm going to sit down with the ladies, with two of the ladies as well. That's
Okay.
going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe you could give us a little background on the two ladies so people can have look forward to what's coming. That'll be our show for next week. So just
Yeah.
give us just a tidbit about the ladies, what positions they play, who are they. Give people something to look forward to.
All right. So I have Cleopatra and Chiwoni. So these girls have been amazing players. Chiwoniso has played for the national team. She's played for Cheetahs. This is the seven sides. She's played for the Sables women's. She's done great. She's a proper athlete. And she's a leader like she's a natural leader. So for me, I think you just have to wait and hear what she has to say, her experience in rugby, how it has changed her life, how she's been uplifted by this amazing sport that is male dominated, but we are also
Mhm.
getting there. And then Cleopatra is from Harare Sports Club, an amazing player who's emerging and starting to get into the national team platform. So yeah, I just want you to hear from them what they have to say in terms of rugby so that you understand what we've been doing for these girls.
I am so excited to sit with the ladies. We got a bit of a perspective from the leadership side, but we want to know the the tea. We want to get all the tea from the ladies. So I'm really excited to sit down with them. But we're going to wrap it up here. But before we go, I just want to ask, as a role model, for these ladies and for even aspiring female rugby players, I just want to ask you for any advice. What advice would you give young girls who are interested in taking up the sport? We'll just talk about rugby today. How, even just how do they go about it? How do you get into Zimbabwe women's rugby? Just some advice on taking those steps, because like I said, I'm sharing this with Goromonzi girls because
Please.
those are, that's that I went to Goromonzi High School. I
Yeah,
am,
yeah.
so just so I want to be able to, to share this video with them as well. And
Okay.
share this video, share this clip even. What advice as a role model would you give these ladies or young girls who are interested in rugby?
All right. So what I would advise them is to go to their schools because we're doing a development program whereby we want all schools to start playing women's rugby. So we are already in the pipeline to create platforms for them to play. So I think they should just go engage with their sports directors, start playing rugby, and then that gives them a platform for them to be chosen to play for the national team. I've had a lot of, like you said, Goromons. Goromons is one of my feeders for the under 20 girls. Amazing players, beautiful athletes, I'm telling you. We've got Girls High, we've got clubs as well, Harare Sports Club, Raiders, we've got Zimbiru, we've got old Hararians, old Georgians. So those clubs can also, especially for people who've left school, they can go join those clubs so that they have a platform for us to see them. We've got coaches that will be scouting soon. We're taking advantage of tournaments that are coming up, like the
Mm-hmm.
Nedbank tournament. We're selecting a national team that will be playing soon. There's the tournament at Milton soon in Blawayo. I'm sending down coaches to scout for players. Then we've got Mwana Group tournament that is coming up. That will also be a platform. So all schools around the country will be playing there. So imagine everyone is given an equal opportunity to be selected for the national team. So we are trying to create platforms in terms of getting national team players.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. If you're watching this, follow their Instagram page, Facebook page. Zimbabwe Women's Rugby is their Facebook and their Instagram. So definitely follow that. Follow us as well. So, watch this interview. And, Regina has been absolutely inspiring even to myself. I don't play rugby, but I feel like you're doing such an incredible job with these ladies. And I hope that we can support you the best way that we possibly can. And, we want to see you win. We'll be watching, we'll be sharing, and, and hook us up with other ladies as well. We're always, this is your new home. Okay. You're always welcome. You're always welcome to schedule a chat with us at any time. If you have a tournament that you want to share with everyone, just let us know and we can hop on here for a couple of minutes and you guys can, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, because that's what we're here for, to empower you guys, to get your name out there and motivate, encourage, and, and all the good stuff, right? I am so happy I got to sit down with you. We missed Tino today, but, this was absolutely incredible. I can't wait to meet the ladies and, just delve into what their lives look like before. And, now that they're in rugby, what has improved for them in their lives. And I know that you have been a huge impact on their lives. And I just want to let you know that, as International Women's Month, Women's History Month, you are making history along with the ladies. We appreciate you. We are rooting for you. We are so excited for you. And please do come back to us anytime. We're here for you. We're family. Like I said, you can't get rid of us now, Regina. You can't.
No, I can never. Thank you so much for that.
But continue doing what you're doing. Continue representing females. Let's dominate it. Let's dominate rugby. Let's take these men out. No, I'm just kidding. We love our men. We feed from them as well. So this is not going to be a man bashing session at all, because we love the men and we support them as well. We were talking about the pit bulls earlier, so everybody just follow Zimbabwe Women's Rugby, support them, send some resources. We have a GoFundMe that's running right now. We're going to post the link with this video. Support them. $5, $10 goes a long way for the ladies. So we appreciate you. And once again, I'd love to thank you so much, Regina, for joining us. And, again, join us anytime. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, our Facebook, our Instagram, Zim Ladies Roundtable, Instagram and Facebook are Zim Ladies RT. Follow us, and we're definitely going to have
a follower, by the way.
I'm sorry?
I'm already a follower.
She's already following us. So follow Regina, okay? Follow Regina, who is following us. Do what Regina is doing. She is following us.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Regina. I appreciate your time. I know it's late also over there. So thank you so much. We appreciate you and we can't wait to have another chat with you. And we're watching and supporting.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay.